What's going on YouTube? Today we're going to be checking out some of the Jeeter vapes. They just started dropping these a few months ago, at least in the Michigan market. They do have live resin ones, and these are their liquid diamond ones. Don't have any of the live resin ones, but today we're getting into the double rainbow and the blue Skittles, both indicas if you guys care about that. I am not the biggest Jeeter fan, to be completely transparent. Their joints, a little bit too artificial tasting for me. Not the best material that goes in there. I've seen some of the COAs and seen some of the stuff that they put into their joints, so I really am not the biggest fan. But I hit one of these a while back and it wasn't terrible, so curious to see how these guys are. I know Jeeter is a huge brand. To be honest, their branding and their apparel and everything is pretty on point, so I do have a lot of respect for them from that aspect, but have not been the biggest fan of their products personally. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the blue Skittles. I have had the double rainbow in joint form and I did not like it. It was way too intense for me as far as flavor goes. So we're gonna see how this blue Skittles is first, but I felt like you could get like a pretty good cloud with the device that they use. Another thing too, I'm just not the biggest fan of liquid diamonds. I feel like there's better options out there that have a little bit more of the high that I'm looking for. With diamonds, you lose a lot of the other terpenes and cannabinoids that kind of play into the entourage effect, making it more of like a comfortable high. But yeah, like I was saying, the branding is on point. You pull it out, it has this nice little like plastic tray, and you just push it through. It does suck that all the batteries are white, so there's no way to distinguish between the two different ones that I got. That is one flaw that someone else pointed out to me right off bat. But looking at the hardware here, it is pretty cool. It's got these nice little like grooves in it. Just a pretty neat looking device all around. And like I said, I thought it hit pretty well, but enough talking. Let's go ahead and see what I think. Super smooth, I'll give it that. For a diamond pen, very, very easy on the inhale and exhale. So I'll give it a thumbs up for that. Not like a crazy harsh lung expansion or anything like that. You do feel it on your lungs, but it's honestly kind of a pleasant lung expansion. The flavor is artificial for sure. With that being said, it's not super overwhelming. It does taste kind of like a blue candy. I'd say blue Skittles kind of makes sense. I could be less happy with it. This is not something that I would buy. I do think there's definitely a place in the market for this. I think this is better than a lot of the products out there. Just not really like for me personally. I would be more interested in trying the live resin ones. I don't know if they have like the added terps. I'm sure they do. Kind of everything Jeeter does has to have that more intense flavor. But I honestly expected these to be way more just intense on the flavor, which I'm glad it's not. I think that's a positive thing. I know a lot of people really like super strong flavor, but when it's artificial and it's overdone, I'm not a fan. I like really strong flavor if it's natural, like the strongest possible. But once you get into those artificial flavors, it starts to get really, really hard to deal with. Another cool thing about these is they do use the USB-C, which is nice. A lot of brands still haven't switched over to that, which seems crazy in 2025. I like the hardware a lot. It pulls really easily. Yeah, I mean, overall, like, this is a pretty solid product. As much as I don't want to like it, it's pretty good. I don't really have any complaints other than the taste. So I think most people would probably enjoy that. Honestly, this is probably what most people are used to if they're coming from distillate. I would say this is an upgrade from most distillate. It doesn't have that like plasticky taste that distillate does. It does seem like this is actually real diamonds and not mixed with distillate or anything. And the dispensary that I work at least carries these for $24, so pretty decent price. I typically only go for rosin pens, and while I do think they are the best, they just start to get pretty expensive. Like the Wojo Wax ones are 40. These Unrivaled ones are like the cheapest ones we have. Those are 32, and these are both half grams. This Information Entropy one was free. I'm not sure how much it actually costs, but it's super fire. So quick note though, I can tell just diamonds, like I was saying, isn't really the high that I'm looking for. Already starts to be more of like a head rush. I don't like the feeling that diamonds like gives me. I don't know why I was gonna say is. The high is just not really what I'm looking for personally. A lot of people probably like it. It's more abrasive, I would say. Definitely, I don't know, more heady, more boom. Things like a rosin or like a live resin are going to be a lot more like just comfortable, in my opinion, a lot more like full encompassing. Just overall body, this is much more in the head, and I think a lot of people really like that. So I do think there's a place for this in the market, but for being something that's labeled like an indica, my body isn't relaxed at all. I do feel like more sativa-y. I feel like diamonds a lot of times can make me even a little bit irritable. I'm starting to get like kind of a little headache, which is not like a fault with this particular product. This is just what this product is, and for me, those are the effects that I get from it that might not be the same for you. Okay, gonna go ahead and hit this double rainbow, see which one I like more between the two. Ooh, I actually like this one. Way more than I thought I was going to. It's more floral than I would have guessed. Candy at the same time. It's less intense, even like even less intense than the blue Skittles. So I think that's part of the reason why I'm enjoying it. But yeah, these are not bad products. I don't know. For someone who hates on Jeeter and someone who was like expecting to really hate these pins when we got them in, there's something that I do recommend to people because I do really think that people will enjoy these. I am just not the target audience for this. If you're someone who's into rosin, if you're looking for like that full spectrum high, if you're looking for stuff that is pretty naturally flavored, no artificial flavoring, this is probably not the product for you. But if you're someone who's coming from like a cheap distillate vape or just a distillate disposable, this is going to be a slight upgrade in my opinion. With that being said, it is more of, phone alarm going off. Like I said, definitely going to be more of a head rush than a true full body buzz. So keep that in mind. But I do think if you're someone who loves Jeeter, these are definitely worth giving a shot. Pretty solid. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.